If you have watched my other videos or are familiar with my channel, then you know that I help dads go from confused to confident parent. I tell dads about the ups and downs of fatherhood and everything in between. Over time, as the channel has grown, more and more moms are tuning in. And the number one question I get from moms is, how can I get him to help? How can I get him more involved with the children? How can I get him to help more around the house? So this video is for the moms. Before we jump in, I want to be very clear to you moms. It is not your responsibility to get him more involved or to convince him to care more about the children, the family, and the household. It is not your responsibility. But with many women asking me what they can do, I wanted to help and make a video. There are plenty of men, like many who follow this channel, that want to do better, are trying to educate themselves on how they can be a better partner, a better father. But then there are those that are failing to step up. They are not providing the help or the involvement that you would like. So for you moms who want to encourage him to get more involved or help out more, I'm going to offer you some solutions. I speak with many men about the reasons why they don't help or the reasons they aren't involved. And for some, it's actually a conscious decision. Right or wrong, we're not here making the judgment. We just want to solve the problem. So in this video, I'm going to go over some ways that moms can get their partners to help more. Hello everyone, I'm Jason Kreidman, creator of the Dad University Parenting Program. If you are a dad or know a dad who's interested in going from overwhelmed to confident parent, my course can help. Set up a phone call with me to see if my program is a good fit. I'll put some information in the description below. Now, everyone's relationship and family dynamic is different. Some things will work for some couples and for others it will not. So take this information, try the solutions, and see what works best for you and your family. Number one, write down and assign responsibilities. Get a whiteboard, calendar, computer, doesn't matter, and write down all the responsibilities of the family. This means going to work, cooking, cleaning, groceries, taking the children, handling a baby, doing whatever is involved in making the family unit run. Write it all down. Discuss all of the responsibilities and who is taking care of each one. Monday through Friday in the evening, I'm handling dinner. You're going to be doing groceries and handling the baby at this time. When you write things down, there is no confusion on who is responsible. The other important part is that you were both part of this delegation. So when you sit down and you discuss these responsibilities, you both agree to what it is that you're going to be responsible for. And of course, there is give and take. And the other thing to keep in mind, this is not forever. It can change based on your work schedules, your availability, the growth of the child. All kinds of things can affect what happens with your schedule. But it is essential that you write it down and delegate these responsibilities so everybody is clear on what they need to do. If you feel like he's not helping enough, he might not be clear on what it is that he needs to do and when it needs to be done. Now, it might have been said, but he may not remember. With many of the men that I speak with, they often say, if she would just make a list, I would then know exactly what I need to do. And even have a due date on that list so that I know it needs to be done by this time. As a mom, it's not your responsibility to make a list and tell him what to do. But for many men, that organization helps tremendously. And the other part, remember, he is involved in creating that list. So when you both are there creating that list together, you are agreeing with what needs to be done and when. Number two, ask for help. While you shouldn't have to ask for help, sometimes you do have to. And I'm going to say something here that might be a little controversial or people might get upset at. But men are not mind readers. I know Many women think that we can read their minds and that we know exactly what to do and what to say when. But I'm here to say that most of us, even more than most, are not mind readers. So asking for help can really make a difference. So many men I speak with just say, I wish she was more direct with me. I wish she told me exactly what she wants me to do. If she tells me to do something, I'll do it. This comes down to communication. And good communication is essential in any relationship. This isn't about telling somebody what to do. It's about asking for help. And all of us should have the ability and feel comfortable asking for help. And so it might look something like this. Hey, it would just be really helpful if you could do this. Or hey, I'd really appreciate it if you could help me with this. Of course, the way that you ask is important. It's not a demand. It's not telling them what to do. You are asking for help so that it will help you. And so many men are wanting to help. I do want you to take note and be selective on the words that you are using. Use I want you to or I want to versus I need you to or I need to. Those are often used interchangeably, but most of the time the requests that we are making are wants, not needs. And so you want to be mindful on the communication that you're using when you are asking for help. Number 3, understand there is more than one way. Whether you asked for help or he just is doing his responsibilities, understand that there is more than one way of doing something. While you might think that your way is correct, his way is just as valid. Many men said that they actually stopped helping because what they were doing never seemed good enough. It never seemed correct in the way that she wanted him to do something. So the woman might say, well, that's not the way that you load the dishwasher, or those shirts aren't folded that way. You're supposed to feed the baby like this. The clothes you picked out for the kid, they don't match. If you criticize or complain about the way that he does something, he's probably not inclined to want to do it again. If you said, every time you clean the floor, you leave it too wet. Well, if someone's willing to clean the floor for me, that's good enough. I'm not going to complain about how they clean the floor. If you have a problem with the way that he does something, you only have 2 options. You can either stop complaining and criticizing or do the work yourself. You can't have it both ways. Number 4, express gratitude. If you want to see behavior or responsibilities repeated, expressing gratitude can do that. A simple thank you or hey, I really appreciate that. Positive reinforcement is going to go a long way. We are much more likely to repeat behavior when positive reinforcement or gratitude is provided. Thank you so much for cleaning the floors. That was really appreciated. Think about it for yourself. When your partner says thank you or shows you some kind of appreciation, it makes what you're doing a lot easier. You actually feel good about doing it because your partner appreciated it. So expressing gratitude can be really powerful. Another thing you could say, hey, I just wanted to tell you that I really appreciate you handling the baby this morning. Or, you know what, the dinner you made last night, it was so helpful that you did that. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. And he should be doing the same for you too, but it starts somewhere. So show that gratitude to him and you will see a different man. None of these tips are a requirement or obligation in your relationship. But if you're a mom and you want him to be more involved with the house and more involved with the children, then these are some tips that can really help you. It can be frustrating, I know. You have a partner who you feel like should be doing more, but it has to start somewhere. And so essentially, you are taking the power. You are implementing these things. You are taking control. You shouldn't feel helpless. You shouldn't feel like you don't have control. Instead, use these tips and it will change. I would love to hear from you. Try these tips and let me know how they go. Provide your feedback in the comments section below. Also, it really helps us spread our message and get this video to more people if you give the video a thumbs up. If you know anybody that might enjoy this video, please share it with them. We'll see you next time.